me, Garrett over at Blackwater. How's it going? Wanted to show off my new Pride and Joy. Last weekend we made the transition from a 20-gallon tank to a 70-gallon tank. This is my subtropical Asian community. I don't even know if we can call it a biotope anymore because we're playing it fast and loose. But this is what it looks like. As you can see, if you remember my old tank, it's basically the same setup. You just got an extra 1.5 feet on this side here and an extra 50 gallons for everyone to swim around in. So I'm happy, the fish are happy. It's looking a little bit scraggly right now, but I think it's going to look really good in a couple of weeks. Right now it's still kind of, I've had a couple of people come over and they're just like really impressed, so I don't know what they know about aquariums, or maybe their level of criticism is a little bit lower than mine is. But that's good. So yeah, so we set it up. The old tank had sand substrate mixed in with some dirt and random nutrients, clay pellets that are kind of lying around everywhere here now. So this one we went with a dirted substrate. So there's about 2 inches of dirt here in the front, and then it gets a bit higher, so there's a hill under the stump, and there's a hill over here. Maybe you can't see it behind the head. So those are a bit thicker, and then everything's got a 1-inch sand cap, which is just the same substrate from the old tank. Why do I use the same substrate? Well, A, I'm cheap. B, there's nothing wrong with it. It's got this right look. It's got the right mix of sand, red, and natural that I feel is biotope appropriate. And it also carries with it all of the little microfauna and macrofauna that I find very useful to have in a natural tank. And especially in a tank that's got deeper substrate. So we've got Malaysian trumpet snails, we've got ram's horns, we've got bladder snails, although those are few and far between. I think my paradise fish has figured out how to catch the little ones, so you don't see them very often anymore. There he goes, he's looking for him right now. We got nerites, there's one guy on the stump there, you can kind of see right there. We've got the paradise fish, of course. We've got not white cloud mountain minnows, but the very close cousins, the Vietnamese cardinal minnow. And the bamboo shrimp is somewhere in here. He shows up very rarely, as per usual with shrimp. But yeah, the whole ecosystem came along for the ride. There's a couple of roundworms. If you've been following my Instagram, you saw a whole thing of that where it looks like, a close-up of somebody's skin. But they're just sticking their heads out, feeding in the current. So that means there's hundreds of those guys in there, turning over the soil, hanging out with the Malaysian trumpet snails, doing what they gotta do to make the substrate work for me, for the fish, and for the plants. So I'm very pleased with how it's coming along. As you can see, we've got some driftwood here on the top, 3 big pieces. I caught those. Me and my son went for a little adventure down by the river and did some driftwood collecting. So this guy over here, big piece, you can barely see it. That one's gonna look really cool. It's gonna get flipped out of there, upside down, and kind of be rising up out of the side there. And then there's some other pieces that I'm like, maybe I'll use them, maybe I won't. We'll see what happens when they get saturated and sink. But there's this very long branch here that would be kind of cool, arching down over there. My whole plan is to have the plants and the stump and everything rise up at an angle, so the tank is kind of cut down the diagonal asymmetrically, where the bottom is filled with life and the top is just open water, which I think will look really neat, and was my original goal for the old tank, except it was too short. So the stump was in the middle. Now the stump's off to the side. You got a nice open space here. I think it's going to look good. I've prepared some botanicals from our friends at Tannin Aquatics. Boiled those up, and they're just kind of sitting now, soaking, because I don't want to tint right now. All I've got in here is stem plants, and there are two water lilies, Nymphaea rubra, with nice beautiful red leaves. Those are going to start taking off really soon, and they're going to hopefully just kind of give us some aerial cover here. Aerial, whatever. Anyway, maybe it's like the Little Mermaid aerial cover. Yeah, and I think everything's just going to slip up. Over here I've made some moss rocks, Christmas moss from our friend Kyle Penner. You might know him as Mustache on Instagram. And I don't know if that's going to do anything or not, or if it's just going to get dirty, but I figured, hey, it's worth a shot. If not, I'll move all the rocks over to the stump and we'll just cover the stump in moss. I think that'll look really cool. Yeah, so I'm really happy with how it's looking. The water's still a little bit foggy, but it'll keep clearing up. The minnows, as you can see, they really love the floating cover, which is cool. This happened when I initially bought them. I also had a tank like this, but it was more, I think it's the same tank that the coolies are in now. So it's a 20 tall or maybe a 15 tall, and so there was branches going through everywhere, and they bred quite readily in there and felt very comfortable with it looked like. And so they've been a bit skittish, and now that I've got these huge pieces of wood floating, they're out and about again, hanging out right underneath them, picking stuff off. It's really cool to see them go back to their natural behavior. And so I'm hoping that if the lily pads don't provide the cover, I'll just keep throwing in driftwood and then pulling it out once it sinks, so that they've always got floating cover of wood. I think they'll appreciate that. Yeah, so everything besides the Nymphaea rubra is stem plants. I like them because they reproduce really fast, and with the dirted substrate, they've already started taking off. I don't know if you can tell, but there's new green growth on top of everything. So I've got the Hygrophila siamensis over here, kind of mixed in. I like my jungle planting. And then Rotella rhodofundolia, I believe is how you say it. And there's like at least a centimeter of growth on top of each of them, even though they've only been in there a few days. And the first couple of days, it was like totally foggy in here. So those are going to take off really fast, and then they'll just get cropped, chopped, and replanted. I think it's all going to look very nice, very lush. I really liked the jungle phase of the old tank. The nutrients were beginning to run out at the end of the 8 months that it was together, sort of thing. So I'm hoping that the dirted substrate gives everything a bit of an extra longevity for, I'm hoping, a couple of years, till I probably get bored of it and redo the tank again. Who knows? As far as stocking goes, I'm really happy with the ecosystem. Like I said before, I have been feeling the call of the live bearers. So whether that's Pleiades, whether that's I've got a pretty sweet line on Montezuma's swordtail fry in a couple of months, once again from my friend Kyle. So we'll see what happens here. I have also considered expanding the school. I wish it would do it naturally. I wish they'd just get it on and make things happen, but I think the paradise fish might be a bit of a foil to any plans of reproducing for those guys. And even if the fry do make it out, they would be really, it would be fast food. So we'll see. We'll see how it all goes, but I'm really happy. I'm really happy to show you this tank. It's really cool to have something that's 4 feet tall in my 4 feet long in my living room. It's really cool that my family allowed me to put this together here, saw it in the store, and said, "Hey, get this tank. It looks really cool." So yeah, I'm pleased as punch. So hope you've enjoyed this good look at this tank. Maybe I'll do a little feature on it again once it's grown in just a little bit. The 10 minutes of just watching the fish do their thing. Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. It's a lot of fun to watch, and I think the future holds great things for it. Thanks for watching. Check me out on Instagram. It's at Garrett Everett Blackwater. Easy to find. It's all the pictures of like dirt and gross stuff, boring technical things, all that stuff. So yeah, check it out. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend.